guys, Joss here. Today we're looking at a K10 dually project again, guys. I really want to get this thing in paint for two reasons. The first reason is I just found out Tamiya paint is actually being banned in Canada, the spray paint. We did pick our color a while ago. It's TS94. It's a metallic gray. Really looking forward to seeing this color. I haven't used this color before. Usually I use a light gunmetal. But with the red interior and everything, I think it's going to look really good with the red winch and accents. The other reason is that we're going to be starting a new K10 project. So I'd really like to get this one finished up so that we can start our new K10 build. So what we're going to do is get everything stripped down off of this. I'm going to give this a light wet sand, and then we're going to get some color and some clear sprayed on this thing, guys. We still have to do our engine bay as well, so stay tuned for that. I think for today, I really do want to get some color down on this. The flat black looks pretty cool. It's just looking a little tired and unfinished. And I want to move on to the other details, like getting these lights wired up and doing some other mods to the chassis and suspension and motor, ESC, all that sort of stuff. So I want to get the cosmetic stuff out of the way so we can get the windows in and all that good stuff. So I think today's the day, so we're gonna get this thing tore down and get it into the paint booth. All right, guys, we've got it all stripped down. What I'm probably gonna do is flip this upside down once we get it outside. Start by spraying the inside, under the hood and everything like that. Then usually once I get all that 2 coats, then we'll start doing the outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started, and I'll give you guys a few updates along the way here. All right, guys, so here's the first couple coats. It looks really good. I'm happy with the color. It's not 100% perfect. There's a little blemish there on the hood where the magnet is. Not sure why that did that. But if you guys remember, this hood is the blue from the Blue Blazer. This isn't 100%. You can still kind of see where that was filled. These look a little bit different because they're 3D printed. We are going to go with probably a black bed liner, but yeah, I mean, overall, pretty happy with it. Like I said, it's not 100% perfect, but you know, it is a dually, it's a tow rig. Not too concerned about it being 100% perfect. So now I'm going to lay down some clear, and then we can probably wet sand out a lot of imperfections once we got the clear down. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with it so far, guys. So I'm going to keep moving on with the clear coat. So while we're waiting for the paint to dry on the truck, I want to look at the engine bay. So I've had this engine bay, guys, since probably the day it came out. I just haven't got around to working on it. You know, these engine bays are absolutely amazing. Great design. You know, I do want to get one of the actual V8 motors at some point, but for now, this is definitely going to work. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I don't have all the extra detail bits because those were actually released after this, but I do want to start with some main components and getting them painted, and then we can work on getting the extra detail bits later. So if you guys remember, in part 4 of our mud truck build that we were doing, I had this 3D printed motor that I was working on, and I had in that truck, and it looked really cool in there, but the only problem was it was super heavy. So this is solid 3D printed, and it's quite heavy, and it's quite big as well. These trays, you can see here in the bottom, they're hollowed out. So what I was actually looking at, I think I might have showed you guys in a previous video, but you can kind of see the difference here. These are a little bit longer and skinnier, but pretty close. You know, no one's gonna really, you're not gonna really notice that. I mean, it's very close. So what I'm thinking about doing, guys, is painting up the engine block here identical to this. I do have some duplicate color. This is Chevrolet engine orange. So what I'm thinking about doing is painting the block orange, using these valve covers as well as the air cleaner from the 3D printed, and then using the rest of the detail bits from the kit in here just to kind of give it a different look for our dually, guys. And like I said, we'll probably end up picking up the wire distributor and the jack and all that at a later time, but for today I want to get started on getting this engine bay done, because like I said, I've had this for a few months now. So first thing I'm going to do is get all this black masked off. All right, so we got it all masked off. The first step is to get some primer on there. I just use kind of basic automotive primer, give it a good shake, and then we'll lay that primer down, and we'll put our Duplicolor orange on there, and then I'll be back with the next step there, guys. All right, so we got the primer on there, guys, just a couple light coats, and now we're gonna go ahead with the orange. And here it is, guys, a couple light coats. Looks really good. It's nice and shiny. Let it dry overnight, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get all this masking off. Guys, so I just wanted to show you here, I did have to make a couple little touch-ups with the flat black. Not totally perfect, but you won't really see that once it's in the truck. So next up, I just wanted to show you, I'm just putting the intake in. There's these tiny little bolts here. They do give you this little adapter tool that you can kind of scoop up these bolts and get those bolted in. I know it's kind of hard to see, but you can see them there. They're really, really tiny. As well, really good detailed instructions, step by step. You know, they tell you exactly every part, little tips, tools that you need, everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this on here, and then I did get our valve covers off as well, so I want to get those on there and see what this looks like, and then we'll get to the other little detail bits later. I just want to get the main components on there so we can see how this looks. Alright guys, now this is basically it for the V8 engine bay. It can look really good with some paint and everything. I just have a couple other decals to put on, that's about it. I did steal this from another engine bay that I have, this one here, guys, which is now going to be a spare. We will be tearing this one down and doing the same kind of treatment with the orange, but I think we're probably going to go with the metal Holley valve covers and stuff, so stay tuned. I was going to take these wires off and put them on this one, guys, but I think I might want to find maybe some yellow ones or something a little bit different. Also, I'm not going to go with the stock air cleaner. I'm going to go with a 3D printed Elderbrock one, so I'm going to put that on there. It's going to be the last thing, but then you can kind of take it a step further, guys. So there's the dress-up kit that you can get, which includes all the wires and everything, and then there's also this one here that includes I think that's a steering pump, some extra detail on the sides. There's even a jack and everything. I don't know if we're gonna go this crazy, but like I said, I definitely want to get some ignition wires, some yellow or something like that. We'll probably do a bit more to it in the future, so definitely stay tuned, but I think this is pretty well good for today. So I want to go ahead and get the other bits on the truck here, and I'll show you guys all when it's done. All right guys, starting to look really good. I'm going to start getting more of the detail bits on. I already got the marker lights and everything on there, but I think what I'm going to do now is get the glass in the interior, and of course got to get the mirrors back on and stuff like that. But yeah, it's coming along pretty good, guys. Really liking it so far. I was able to lower the suspension a little bit in the rear. I know a couple people were saying that, you know, it's sitting really high, but the thing is, it is a tow rig, so there's going to be a lot of weight on the back. So when there's a full load, she's going to be down pretty good. So it's okay if it's up a little bit. So I'm going to get a couple more details on this, and then I'll show you guys once it's all done here. All right, now guys, this is a tow rig, so I was deciding whether I wanted to use this or not. the reason why I didn't really like it before, it had these mounts that made it sit very high. I just wasn't really a big fan of that, but what I came up with was to make a hole. There's a hole here, so what we'll do is we'll drill that, and then we'll put a bolt and a washer right through the roof into here, and then we'll make a hole here for our wire. Alright guys, now for the wire, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the glass installed in the rear, and then the best thing to do for the wire is just we're going to tuck it right along the pillar, right in, down, out of the way here. The best thing to use for that is shoe goo. So we're going to shoe goo the wire to the roof, all the way along the pillar. I can move my hand so you can see. All the way along there, hide it, and then we'll just paint it black. Alright guys, and there's our interior. Looks really good. But what I wanted to show you here was the back rack here. So I had this in the blue truck. This is a LiPo battery holder, and it has a hole here. So I did have to cut a big hole in the bed, but I didn't account for the extra inch or half an inch for the back rack. So unfortunately I had to make the hole even bigger, but you're not going to see it once it's all together. So what I'm thinking about doing here, guys, is just basically drilling a hole on this side, a hole on this side, and just bolting this whole thing. Now you can see, so I'm debating whether to cut the rack right here and let this go down on the bed, but I kind of like that it sits on here and not on the actual bed. That way we can just screw it all in, and it will hold this whole piece in one. I don't really want to glue it or anything like that on the bed in case we want to remove it, because I do want to spray some bed liner in this bed at some point. Just not going to do it today. So I think that's what we're going to do next. Drill the holes, like I said, and bolt it from underneath, and that should hold this whole section. And then that way we never have to take the body off. I'm going to put the on-off switch in there, and we'll just pop the battery in, turn it on, away we go. Guys, so this is all nice and secure, nice and tight. Open this up, take a look inside. Got some washers in there, screws, so it's easily removable. Like I said, this is all tight, no glue required, so that's great. And the last things as well is our rear lights. So I've already got those pre-painted, and I'm going to go ahead and get those installed, and then I'll show you guys the full truck once we're done this. All right, here it is, guys. All right, let's get the light on there. All right, so after 7-8 months, it's finally done. Actually, I don't want to say the word done. We'll say complete. Yeah, I'm really happy with it so far, guys. Like I said, the paint, it's not 100% perfect, but you know what? It's a tow rig. It's a work truck. As I use this, as it gets dirty, it's going to kind of naturally weather. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. The only thing I don't really like is the sparkle. I kind of wish it was just like a normal gray, but other than that, like, got our shrink RC bench seat in there, guys. Yeah, this thing is pretty sweet. You might be thinking to yourself, well, something's missing. Well, you're right. I left the cab lights off just because RC4WDMedia and CC Hand actually came out with their own cab lights. So I'm thinking about, we might have to fill these holes and use these ones. However, I'm thinking about putting a visor on this thing. I think it definitely needs one, just to kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it just feels like something's missing. So definitely want to get a visor. So I'm going to hold off doing the cab lights until then. So definitely stay tuned. We'll be doing an episode just on cab lights. So also, guys, is CC Hand, RC4WDMedia also released a new GMC grill. Yeah, I don't know what to think about it. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I might just pick it up just to see what it looks like. Also, we have, you know, like this one we can put in there as well. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I might pick up that grill, the CC hand one, just to kind of see what it's like. But yeah, there's lots we can do now. Kind of looking forward to just adding more detail and bits, maybe some more lights back here, some spotlights or something. May want to add a winch back here, I don't know yet. So yeah, there's lots we can do. Really excited with it now. Yeah, now we can move on to the chassis and suspension. I did take out the helper spring, the helper leaf. Did lower it a little bit. All right, guys, well, definitely stay tuned to Just RC. We got a new K10 project we're starting. This is going to be a budget build series. It's also going to be my first sort of weathered truck. This is going to be, I want to do it like a beater, kind of daily driver, maybe even a plow or something like that. Just something that I can take out and not really have to worry too much about getting scratched up or taking sort of the nice kind of shelf queens out. But yeah, we're just gonna have some fun with it, so definitely stay tuned. And if you're still watching at this point, definitely appreciate everyone for watching and subscribing. But I think that's gonna be all for this one, so just like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.